Welcome to this week's episode of DOSBite. And in this week's episode, I just wanted to talk about why I love Windows 95 and 98. Now, somewhere here is the disk. As you can see in the background, I'm just starting up one of my retro computers. And I just want to talk about why I love this OS. And there it is, look, it's going up, it's going up. Got rubbish background on at the moment, but I just want to talk about why I love this OS so much and why it means so much to me. And please put in the comments below, there it is, please put in the comments below what it is about Windows 95 or Windows 98 OSs of that era that you find so nostalgia. This is why I love it. Now, just briefly looking at it loading here, I've normally got the clouds up, but because every time I load a game, it just bombs out. But for me, I haven't got it on this one, which is a bit annoying, but for me, I love the little sound you can make it do, the little like boom, boom, and obviously you can change it. And put in the comments below if you used to do this. As a kid, I used to mess around with sound effects, so to do different noises and sounds. And when I used to do this thing like, hello, welcome to David's computer. I used to do all sorts of silly stuff when I was a kid. But for me, it's just the nostalgia of just loading up and down the screen, looking at what games and programs you got, having a folder. I don't know if you can see it from over there, but having a folder that's got all your sort of games in, that sort of thing. It's just the nostalgia of it, of loading up. And I'm actually debating at some point, it's a bit of a ball ache, but I'm going to do it at some point. I do have an idea of downloading or finding the audio track of the Windows 95 startup, the or however it went, and just have that on my laptop and on my retro 98 build that I've done, just because of the nostalgia feel. I don't know, there's just something about Windows 95 loading up that's just so, I don't know, it just takes you back to be the kid. It's just brilliant. Yeah, this is a disc of Windows 98. So, why else do I love Windows? Back then it was so much simpler. You know, you didn't have constant, like back in the XP era, and Vista was actually really bad for it. It'd be constantly asking you permission for everything and all that jazz. And I sometimes feel like, I quite like Windows 7, I quite like Windows 10, to be honest. And even my brief look on Windows 11 looks okay as well. But I have to admit that, I don't know, I sometimes feel that Windows has got too complex. I don't know if you guys agree. And I know that more or less all OSs, even the modern ones, are technically based from DOS, technically, in the background. That they do claim they've changed that in 11. But anyway, but I don't know, there's just something about Windows. It's just like, I love DOS, and DOS I probably love as much, if not even more, but that's a whole different video. But I don't know, I just love the sound effects. I love the way you could just load games. I love the fact, it used to really annoy you at times. Like if you installed a game, it would ask you to restart it. And sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't. Sometimes it mattered, sometimes it didn't, depending on what the game or software was. Back in those days, there's just like a nostalgia feeling. It just felt new. And like nowadays, I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like all tech is almost as taken for granted now. And I'll be honest, it takes a lot to impress me, because it's just a newer version of what's already around. But as a kid especially, putting in that CD-ROM and loading up some software that you'd got, or a game or whatever, there's just something about it, loading up that little auto load up and pressing install and watching the little bar. And I can't remember if I've got it here, and I don't think I've got it here. Have I got it? No, I've got to put it up. But one of my favourite installs actually was Worms, because you used to watch the little worms go and they would explode as you were installing the game. So there's so much about it. I mean, put in the comments below if you at any point was upset when they were even debating about getting rid of MS Paint. I used to love Paint, and it's so useful for, cropping pictures, and as much as I like Photoshop and all the rest of it, sometimes it's just quicker and easier, even to this day, to use Paint for lots of different things. So it's just the little things on there, playing solitaire. I think it was on Windows XP where you had a pinball game and stuff like that. But I don't know, there's just Windows 95, 98 for me anyway was the real difference maker. I mean, I'd briefly gone on 3.1, but it sort of still felt DOS-y, sort of. But Windows 95, 98, for me personally, just felt like the OS that really took it to the next level. It was the biggest jump we've probably ever seen from DOS to, you know, Windows, personally. You know, even like nowadays, even like, you know, XP to Vista or whatever, there was just, for me, there's not been a bigger jump. And going back, loading up like my retro laptop here or the 98 build you've probably seen in the videos, there's a certain nostalgia about loading up, getting these old computers working again. And I don't know, it just brings me so much joy. And I will actually, put a comment below if you do this, what are your games or software that you still like to sometimes use? And if you're getting value, please subscribe and like this video. But it's just brilliant. So I will get really nostalgia-y now, if that's even a word. Just because I will literally load this up just to put in certain CDs just to hear their auto music. I don't know, I just love all the little silliness about it, where again, as I said before, I just feel it's something we just take for granted in this modern age of tech. So put in the comments below then why you like Windows 95 or 98, or perhaps why you don't like it, if you prefer just DOS anyway, or if you preferred later Windows. Just be interested in knowing in the comments below. Also, we've got merch, so there's a link to that in the description if you'd like to support the channel. And also, the easiest way to support the channel is just by liking this video and subscribing. And I may even leave a couple of affiliate links to some floppy disks. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please watch more, and I'm going to leave 2 end cards at the end of the video where you'll be able to see even more. So thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to everyone that's came over from the Facebook DOS page. Hello to all of you and to everyone that's been watching this content. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 subscribers and push the channel to the next level. Thank you again, and you know what? What game to play? I have all these games here. Which one should I play now? See you next week.